The following program is made possible by Planet Earth Diversified, Melee Productions, and Leslie P. Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design, with additional support from Flavor Magazine, serving the Piedmont's local food and wine culture.
This is Todd Haymore, Commissioner of the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, and you're watching Meet the Farmer TV.
I'm Michael Clark from Meet the Farmer TV, and welcome to today's special episode, the Virginia Specialty Food Education Conference here at the Boars Head in Charlottesville, Virginia. Among many interesting suppliers and businesses involved in Virginia agriculture, we'll also talk to Todd Haymore, the Commissioner of Agriculture for this Commonwealth of Virginia. We'll talk to Charles Green, Marketing Director for Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. We'll also talk to the chef and see how he prepares his local food dinner, the special request for this particular conference. And we'll talk to the woman who brought it all together, the Managing Director of the Virginia's Finest program, Olivia Wilson. Tell us, and everybody I've talked to said Olivia did it all.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to tell us what's happening.
This year, we've had a record number of attendance. I think we hit the 80 mark, which is possibly double of what we have had, in recent years. It was nice to see such a large group of new producers, and I think that's proof that there is a new interest, a renewed interest in food, in food safety, in producing local foods. We have a number of companies, hundreds of Virginia companies that hopefully will be interested in attending this conference next year. I'm the administrator of the Virginia's Finest program, which you know a lot about the Virginia's Finest, and what I am really having a great time doing is going out to the farms, seeing that peppers from Charles City County are going to a Richmond company, a new Richmond company, two sisters. This is an example, two sisters making hot sauce. They're using the peppers from this Charles City County farm to make their hot pepper sauce. Then that hot pepper sauce is going to the marketplace here in Virginia, but elsewhere as well. So that is really exciting. I like that, and I want to see more of those connections. So that's one of our main jobs here.
Well, that's terrific. So we had a really good conference.
Yeah, good. Reel me back into the conference. Contact me. First, our website, vafinest.com, or my email. Email me directly, Olivia, olivia.wilson, WILSON @vdax.virginia.gov, and spell out Virginia. I'm excited also. We had a large presence of new companies here and a large presence of the veteran companies who have been in business, been in Virginia for 20, 30 years. To bring those two sides together in an educational format was just wonderful, because the newer companies, of course, they have a lot to learn from the veterans, but the veterans have a lot to learn from the newer companies. So, and the fact that away from this area, they're competitors, semi-competitors, we'll call it, but then they can come in with the help of the Virginia Department of Agriculture and the Virginia Specialty Food Advisory Committee, SFAC, and we can bring them together in one centralized location, and they can share thoughts, share ideas, and hopefully grow and learn from each other, and hopefully they can move forward in a direction where they're using each other's talents to make this whole situation better for everyone involved. What we focused on, and you may have talked with some other people, a big focus here over the past 2 days was recession strategies. Get how maneuvering, what are the opportunities, and what people now know, there are a number of opportunities that can come as a result of these turbulent economic times. Again, vafinest.com, you'll find the Virginia's Finest Food and Beverage directory online, listing all of the companies, including Planet Earth Diversified. It lists their contact information, phone number, email, and the company websites typically as well. That's right there. Not only across the country you can go to that website, you can access that website around the world.
Well, that's great.
If you have any ideas for what you would like to see out of an educational conference, if we can help, please let us know. Share your ideas with one another in the food industry, whether it's from the farm to the retailer, to the manufacturer. It's all a team effort, and there's, the saying, there's power in numbers. We honestly believe in that, and VDAX fully supports Virginia farmers. That's, that is our ultimate goal. And I love getting out and meeting new people and helping them grow their business, helping them meet new people to expand their horizons, everyone's horizons.
Well, that's great. So Zach, we're here at the Virginia Specialty Food Educational Conference, and you gave some brief comments about Retail Relay, and tell us a little bit, what exactly is Retail Relay?
It's one part marketplace where customers can go online, see a catalog of lots of different food products in one place, and at the same time it's also an order fulfillment or freight network where we can take farm products that have been purchased by customers and route them right to customers' cars as they leave outbound arteries in Charlottesville, or right to customers' doorsteps through our delivery service. We have multiple temperature zones in our truck, so we handle dry goods that are meant to be at room temperature in little modular containers that are kept at ambient temperature in the truck. We keep refrigerated goods on ice. We keep frozen items on dry ice. So your ice cream comes out frozen, your toothpaste comes out warm as it's supposed to be, and your cabbages and lettuces turn out perfect. For farmers that are just starting out on Retail Relay, we ask that they're selling merchandise that's already picked and already basically ready to go. And the timing is customers can place an order all the way up until 11 a.m. on our delivery days. Right at 11 a.m., our infrastructure automatically sends a fax to all of our participating vendors. You have about an hour and a half before our truck will come by, pick up order components. Our trucks cross-dock and we sort out, this is all of Michael's stuff that he's going to the Boars Head pickup location. We get already in the Boars Head truck, and we're positioned ready for customers starting at 4:30.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
It's a lot of work in a short amount of time, but it works.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the menu that I've prepared for this evening. We tried to use ingredients that were not only from our area, but fitting for the season. In Virginia, this time of the year, you would be using a lot of canned products or preserved, pickled products, for that matter. So some of the items that you'll see in this menu reflect that. Also, some of the heritage, if you will, of people who settled in this area, namely the Dutch. They would do things like chow chows, would be a pickle relish, a vegetable pickle relish. We've used that today to as an accoutrement to our turkey galantine. As you know, Virginia being the largest producer of poultry in the United States, we thought that was a fitting item to serve. Typically, a Cumberland sauce is served with a galantine or a pate, and is traditionally made with currants. In this case, we use blackberries because, again, it's a native or indigenous ingredient. So those are the type of things that you'll experience today. We have root vegetables because it's that time of the year. They're still being harvested or in root cellars. Ramps are starting to become in season or being harvested. So we did a potato terrine that are wrapped in ramps. Grass-fed beef is the entree. And for dessert, we use stone fruits. These were dried stone fruits from the summer. They were preserved, and we are using them as a cobbler. Again, another very traditional dessert that you would find in this region. So using ingredients not only that are indigenous to our location, but also in season, and also prepared in the method or style that was influenced by the people who have settled in this area. What's new and exciting at Boars Head? Well, what's new is local and fresh. Really going to sustainable practices and using products from our own region as they come into season. We're venturing into organics and also free-range chicken and grass-fed beef. So those are some of the things that you can come to expect when coming to the Boars Head. We're part of this community, and we want to know the people in our community. We want to support those producers in our community and develop a long-term relationships with those people. Stop by and introduce yourself to the chef, and maybe bring some samples or certainly a list of what you're producing. And I would love to have that opportunity. So we're very open. I'm here typically 6 days a week, typically 12 to 14 hours a day, so I'm pretty easy to find. But I also have a very knowledgeable crew of chefs. They're very talented, and they're also, I think, very open to the same passion in terms of our direction, what our goals are, and they are very, very well versed in the use of these products, and I think they're also a great source to reach out to. We have a very talented garde manger chef. He's obviously looking for great produce items, as well as a very talented banquet chef and chef de cuisine of our dining room. So each of them have different needs in terms of what they can draw from their local producers, but it all dovetails into one big story that we're trying to tell with our food and obviously our position here in the community. There's a real synergy amongst chefs. Although we compete against one another, we still work very closely together. We network, and I see that starting to happen here in this region. I think we put sustainable practices ahead of all else. People say, is it profitable? We don't look at it. We didn't look at it from a profit standpoint. We looked at it from what was best for the guest, where we could, there are always ways to be able to fit things that might be a little bit more expensive because of the process that goes into producing or harvesting, to get them into your menu and still have them be cost effective. Put smaller portions, maybe more courses, but I mean, that's kind of the things we were doing. Now, of course, we were at an advantage because of the climate. Obviously, there was much more to draw from for a longer period. But we used what was in season, what was in our own terroir, or our own backyard. As I said, we worked together regardless of whose hotel we were getting paid from. It was a strong community, and we got involved in things like the slow food movement. We chose all of our seafood based on Monterey Bay Aquarium Best Choice list, and we didn't buy outside of it, and through that unity, I think we sent a strong message to our purveyors, and they wouldn't even come to us with anything that wouldn't be socially acceptable in our, I guess, group of chefs, if you will. So in that regard, I think we were a little further advanced. I think that, I think it'll definitely happen here. I see it happening here. I see it's not a fad, if you will. It's here to stay, and it's really going back to the way things were. It's growing with natural fertilizers and so forth, not heavy pesticides. So it's nothing new. It's going back to the way things were done for so many years prior to World War II, quite frankly. But there's so many great things that are native to Virginia that I will, continue to use those products. And, for instance, my spoon bread may not have 4 pounds of butter in it, but it will certainly be an item that you'll find on our menu. As I said, we'll prepare them using some more eclectic methods, if you will, or more modern methods. I think you can still use a bit of bacon without having to put all the rendered fat in it. So you're looking for flavor without necessarily some of the negative things that go along with it. So I think it's really regional American cuisine, using classical methods, and really celebrating the tradition of Virginia.
Basically, basically what I do is there's a lot of research that's going on at Virginia Tech, and especially in the Department of Food Science and Technology. A lot of professors, chemistry professors, food microbiology professors, sensory professors who are doing research in food safety as well as food quality. I take that information that they get from their data that they generate, and I translate it into a practical knowledge and help the food processors of Virginia. One of the things that I am is a process authority, which is someone that is recognized by the state as well as the federal agencies as someone who gains the knowledge or has the knowledge to look at a process and deem it safe, to look at the process and measure the product parameters and say that it is a safe product. But if it's not, I certainly can work on the product safety, determine a different process to make it safe, and as well as after we look at the safety parameters of it, what I can do is then work on the quality. Obviously safety is first and foremost, but definitely you want to work on the quality aspects of your product such that you can, your consumers will like your product as well as you can sell more product, obviously. And then finally, I look at shelf life aspects. How can we increase the shelf life of a product? How can you gain some shelf life such that you can have your product on the market longer?
Well, that's great. So oftentimes I find that the small producers are intimidated by these processes, and they get an inspection letter or a citation at a farmer's market that, hey, you need some approval for your process and you can't sell that. And they kind of freak out and either stop or run and hide or get picket signs and start getting mad about, I shouldn't be inspected for anything. But it seems like it's really not that bad. If you understand some processes, some of it is what your grandmother told you to do, of how to make pickles and how to do things safe and some cleanliness and general good practices.
Certainly, what your grandmother has taught you, a lot of it is steeped in very good science. We just have to prove that what your grandmother taught you is steeped in good science, and certainly I can help in that. And yes, the legalese of the food legislation can be daunting, but when you break it down and you take it one at a time, all the regulations, if you take it one at a time, it really isn't as daunting. And what I try to do, I've worked in the industry before, what I tried to do is I tried to be a liaison to those folks such that if they aren't comfortable asking their food regulatory official or food inspector the questions that they should be asking, they certainly can come to me and we can walk them through how they can be in regulatory compliance. It doesn't have to be a daunting or a overwhelming responsibility.
What we're interested in doing at Meet the Farmer TV is producing some video segments to help people understand the regulations, how to comply, and even some how-tos of how to meet some of these processing requirements. I know there's a conference coming in just a week or so, the Virginia Agricultural Food Entrepreneurship Program that you'll be presenting there again in Charlottesville. And I wonder if you'll take us to the lab and introduce us to the scientists there and show us some of the equipment and get us started on this understanding the science of food safety.
We could definitely do some of that. We can go to the lab, we can talk about food regulation, but we also can talk about some of the important things about food safety. pH and acidity, water activity, which of course a lot of people don't really understand, but once we start getting into the science of food, it's not as difficult as one would think.
I think from a Meet the Farmer standpoint, the best thing to know about the Department of Agriculture is we have a marketing staff that's there, working around the clock for folks, not only in Virginia, but also around the world. We have domestic marketing specialists, we have international marketing specialists. We also have an agribusiness development service there that helps people take ideas and turn them into reality to help a business grow and expand. So whether it be marketing a product, whether it be a new product, an old product, whatever, we're there to help. And it's taking an idea that you have to grow your business, to expand, to turn your job or your business into a 10-employee operation or 15 or 20 employee. We have the people there. We have the experts that can help you navigate those bureaucratic, governmental landmines and fields that are out there. So the Department of Agriculture serves many, many purposes. We're there to help, and I hope that all farmers and agribusiness folks, whether you be small, medium, or large in size, will take advantage of the services. After all, it's Virginia taxpayer dollars that are funding our operation, and we want to be sure that we're making a good, solid return on that taxpayer investment. I would encourage anyone who is involved in agriculture or an agribusiness in the state to look at our website. It's www.vdax.virginia.gov. There's a whole myriad of information there that helps people understand what we do on behalf of them, on behalf of a lot of folks all around the state. Again, you can call our marketing office. Charles Green is our marketing director. He has an entire staff of domestic and international specialists that are help. We have the agribusiness development unit there that's led by a gentleman by the name of Robbins Buck. I would encourage folks to call Robbins if you have an idea, you want to take it and turn it into a reality. So between our website and the good old-fashioned face-to-face or telephone conversations that you can have with staff, I would encourage everyone who's out there who has an idea, who has an opportunity to call the department or look online and find out more about what the department can do for them or their business. After all, if we help a farmer, whether it's a small, medium-sized, large operator, if we help him turn his product into something that's going into the marketplace, that's tax revenue that's generated back into the state, back into localities, which is good for everybody. So we're an important part of agriculture. Is the #1 industry in the state. The department is there to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help promote agriculture in the state. So I can't encourage people enough to take advantage of all the opportunities that the department can hold for them. In this depressed economic times that we're living in, agriculture has been one of the bright spots. It continues to be one of the bright spots. People are very interested in buying local. They're very interested in supporting the local farmers markets, their local farmers in their areas. So I mean, we can't say enough that if someone's out there who wants to work with the department, we're there to help. I mean, that's really ultimately what our job is on a day-to-day basis, to try to help agriculture grow and prosper throughout all corners of the state. It doesn't matter if it's Northern Virginia, where people don't normally think about heavily agricultural dependent. There's still a lot of activity going on there. Richmond, Tidewater, Southwest Virginia, Southside Virginia, the Shenandoah Valley, the Eastern Shore. Every place in the state has an important role to play with agriculture, and so we're just honored and pleased to be able to help agriculture and producers as much as we can. There's a lot of things going on in the state with helping farmers to do things to enhance their operations. At the Department of Agriculture, we have the Office of Farmland Preservation, and we get state funds we work with localities to help permanently preserve working farmland. This is not just about having aesthetically pleasing rolling hills or farm that's just sitting there not doing anything. What we do is to try to work to preserve working farmland that will continue to be productive now and into the future. So that's just another thing that we do on behalf of Virginia farmers and agriculture as a whole there at the department. But agriculture on the whole is doing really, really well in the state. We're so blessed. It's the #1 industry in the state. By far, the economic impact study that we just commissioned last year, we released the results in September with Governor Kane, showed that agriculture has a $55 billion a year annual economic impact in the state. That is far and away the top industry in the state. So you all are a great piece of that, an important piece of that economic engine. So, and also I failed to mention that agriculture is generating about close to 360,000 jobs in the state. Again, just an incredible amount, and you all are playing such a vital role in that entire ag component of that ag sector.
What's your part of it?
Well, the educational conference is basically the opportunity for once a year the industry to get together in Virginia, the value-added agricultural products, specialty food products producers to get together, learn from each other, learn from our speakers, talk about production, distribution, marketing techniques, promoting themselves, how to attract media attention, really all in an effort to help boost the visibility of their products and the industry, increase sales, and help our economy as we help their companies.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So there's actually like a Virginia Grown, there's Virginia Finest. What other programs are there?
Right. The Virginia Grown and Virginia's Finest are two flagship marketing programs, and mainly the agricultural commodities, produce, meats, those types of products usually tend to use the Virginia's Grown logo. Okay. And the Virginia's Finest is a quality standards program. There are a lot of specialty food companies that apply to be members of Virginia's Finest. But there are really two ways, those different logos, whether it be at a farmer's market or on a grocery store shelf on the packaging of a processed product, that Virginia consumers can know that the product is a locally produced Virginia product, and then know that they're supporting local farmers and local entrepreneurs, food entrepreneurs, and helping the economy. We do everything from direct marketing, which is working with growers who are selling right off the farm or at farm stands or farmers markets or through CSAs, all the way to growers that are selling to retailers or distributors that are providing foods for food service, institutions, the school systems, and even into international marketing. Really everything that we do is there to provide in the marketing division to add value to the products in Virginia, whether that be designating it as a locally grown product or through some of the official grading and inspection services that help the consumer know exactly what grade, quality, size of product he or she is purchasing. We have 6 regional offices throughout the state. The easiest way is to contact me by phone, and my phone number is area code 804-786-3530, and I'm glad for people to call me or email me. Also our website, we do have a number of growers directories on the website. Some are geared more towards the direct marketing, so if someone's looking for a farmer's market or to go pick your own somewhere. Others are shippers directory, which are geared more towards the wholesale trade, and so that would be if a larger distributor or retailer were looking for a truckload or large volumes of produce. We also have online directories and printed guides that are sort of geared towards the different consumers that are
so
out
we can
there.
find links
so
on the website.
You can find links, and you can also just call and ask and say, I'm in Charlottesville and I'd like to know who some producers of a certain type of product are around, and we can certainly help producers and consumers find those products.
Well, that's terrific.
I believe there's 47,000 farms in Virginia, really ranging all sizes. That's one of the blessings of the Commonwealth, is we have probably one of the most diverse agricultural communities of any state, and really everything from fresh produce to protein products to dairy to marine products and even forest products. So we've got an extremely diverse agricultural industry. I think it's one of the strengths of Virginia.
Well, that's kind of how Virginia got started, isn't it? We were growing tobacco and shipping it back over the seas.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. A lot of our heritage is tied to agriculture, and a lot of our economic strength has been tied to agriculture over years, and continues and will continue to be so.
That's interesting. And here we are in Charlottesville, sort of Jefferson's hometown, and he made a lot of efforts of going to Europe and bringing gourmet foods and ice cream, and so we're kind of participating in that heritage as well with these quality Virginia finest
that's
products.
right, and that's one of our jobs, is to sort of ensure and try to ensure the economic viability, vibrance, and growth in Virginia agriculture, whether it be in the commodities or the processed food items.
So we've had 2 days of great marketing information, recession strategies, networking, and food safety information from the Virginia Department of Agriculture and the Virginia Tech Food Extension Specialists. And we've also had some great interviews with some of the producers and some of the businesses that are involved in the $55 billion of agricultural impact here in the state of Virginia. So, from the Boar's Head in Charlottesville, Virginia, we thank you for watching another episode of Meet the Farmer TV. For additional information and extended versions of this program, visit our website, www.meetthefarmer.com. There's going to be a new Meet the Farmer dinner this summer. So tell us about that.
Yeah, there is, at the Palladio Restaurant at Barbersville Vineyard, and it's going to be in early June. The chef there is working with Jonathan Hayward, actually, from the Tolliver House. So they're working together in partnership to develop an exciting menu, and we're going to start working with farmers such as Mike and others. I think Perfect Flavor from Harrisonburg, local ice cream makers.
The preceding program was made possible by Planet Earth Diversified, Melee Productions, and Leslie P. Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design, with additional support from Flavor Magazine, serving the Piedmont's local food and wine culture.